So there are reports that in Washington there is an older gentleman who is sick with H5N5 bird flu, which is different than H5N1. H5N5 is a little different because it's a human version of the bird flu. They don't know how he got it, although he was raising domestic birds. Now, their bird flu is making a resurgence amongst domestic flocks, chickens, etc. They got 86 flocks that have been infected, and that usually happens this time of year when you have birds from migrating in. They infect stock. Now, some people, and I've seen some of the other, a lot of creators are freaking out because unfortunately, if you catch the bird flu, there's no vaccine. If it's switched to humans, if it becomes airborne, there's a 50% mortality rate. We're not talking COVID, which was 33% mortality rate. We're talking 50%. That's worst case scenario. From what I've been reading and what I've been seeing, they're not panicking, but they are reacting to it. The Center for Disease Control is watching 100 people. Now, what I'm concerned about is not the virus itself. Well, I'm concerned about the virus in two reasons. One, if it's affecting chickens and stuff like it did earlier during the Trump-Biden administration, that's one of the reasons the egg prices went up and poultry prices go up. That's going to affect that, and that's for sure. But if they're starting to make a transition, if it's starting to mutate to affect human beings, if it mutates to an airborne virus, which means we'll have to go into shutdowns, into mask wearing, back to what we were in 2020, the problem I'm panicking about is not the virus. It's the people in charge of this country who will fuck us over and kill us because they do not know how to handle something like this. We saw what happened the last time in 2020. And we had somewhat competent people in the CDC. We have totally incompetent people in the CDC and Robert F. Kennedy, head of Health and Human Services. And you have the Secretary of Agriculture, Brett Collins, who's a total numbnut. Not only would they destroy agriculture, this could become a pandemic that will not be stopped because it would be incompetence. Robert F. Kennedy would not know what to do. He will call it a hoax. He will call it all these things other than taking action. Trump will go back to it'll go away. That's what scares me more. Okay? A pandemic is a pandemic. If you have competent people, you can step on it quick. Control it at the site. If it gets out of control, then you have masking. We do what we did in COVID for a while when there were competent people like Dr. Fauci running everything. What I'm concerned is that if the local CDC people do not control the area, do not control it, and it gets loose, and it ends up having to be a problem that Washington has to address, who's in Washington, we're all fucked. I mean, it could be one of those, it could be just like a Stephen King novel, Captain Trips. If you know what you know when you know. Because these people, the bird flu doesn't scare me. No. Robert Kennedy and the Trump regime responding to it in this emergency scares the holy hell out of me. Because those people will sacrifice everybody to protect their asses. So just be aware, keep an eye on it, and be aware that this could get worse.